Good evening, YouTube. This is Reverend
Theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
This is our third video of the week. Once again, it's three middle-aged dudes just bullshitting about nothing. Really busy week. Unfortunately, kind of busy in a way that not a lot of people are fans of. We lost two icons in the entertainment industry. One being at least two. Yeah, the one being the ninth wonder of the world, Joan Laurer, aka Chyna, former WWF, WWE women's wrestler, and also probably one of the greatest musicians our generation has ever seen, Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, and just Prince in general. He died also this week. Very, very sad week for fans all the way around. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to give our quick thoughts and our quick respect, because guess what? We're music fans and we're wrestling fans. That's just how it is. Well, let's talk about Chyna first, folks. I'm opening the floor to you guys. Go ahead.
Okay, for Chyna, I remember watching her during the Attitude Era, and she was always with Triple H, and I just could not get it through my head that these big okey doke muscled ass dudes and slamming them to the damn to the mat. You know, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, there is a reason why she's called the ninth wonder of the world. I mean, I don't know. I just have respect for that. And she was, you know, like you guys are going to probably say, she was a pioneer. She opened up the door for all the divas, you know, and it's just, I'm sorry that you had to die so early. And, you know, hey, I don't know. I just remember watching her, and I enjoyed her matches. They were entertaining. That's all I got to say.
All right. Like you just touched on, she was the ninth wonder of the world. This woman was only 45 years old. She passed away, which is very sad. Okay. She was Intercontinental Champion. She was Women's Champion. She was the first woman in the Royal Rumble.
Yep. This
woman broke barriers. And if you actually saw her, you can actually see why. She was one of those women that can actually, you know, be matched up against these guys and beat them up and actually look convincing while doing it.
And make sense, yeah.
I've already made a video saying, was she the best? No. Was she the worst? No. Because her style was to basically overpower and beat motherfuckers up. That's just it. And I said it also in my video. If they would have gave her the women's championship much earlier, she would have been untouchable. There would have been no one that could beat her convincingly, regardless of how they try to dub her down and stuff like that. It's just sad. It's just very sad. Man.
Well, to add on to that, you know, I mean, she was struggling with drugs. You know, it seems like most of our celebrities, it seems like that's what they spend their money on, unfortunately. And that's an unfortunate consequence, you know, of doing drugs. But I rather remember her for what she done in the WWE. I mean, I think she released a couple porn movies, didn't she? You know, so, if that's your thing, go watch that. You know, it's really sad to see somebody die at 45. 45. That's only 5 years older than I am. You know, it really puts you and you know, you're like, what? You know. And like you said, she is the only woman that could go toe-to-toe with most of the superstars of that era, man or woman. And like you said before, Theme, you know, if they had a women's champion, that's probably the reason why they didn't have one. Because, I mean, come on.
Oh, no, they had one. They had one. They just didn't her.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. I mean, there was nobody that could, like you said, convincingly, you know, beat her up or win, unless – some bullshit, you know, with Triple H and the sledgehammer. You know, he always had it up every paper. I mean, you think you know us? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, but it's sad. I mean, she's like I said, 5 years older than I am right now, and it's like you're like, uh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Reverend.
You're rambling. Yes, I know. Just classing up the place too, mentioning porn and drugs. Yes, yes. All righty.
You gotta mention the good with the bad, man. Come on.
Look, I gotta say that my first, I remember her first starting to come out after, when Triple H stopped being the Blue Blood, okay, and she started showing up in the WWE, and then DX formed, and she was always there in the background, just scowling with her arms crossed, like a hype man from an early '90s rap group, They always had that big muscle-bound white boy. His only job was when they sat there and they yelled out their rhymes. At the end, he went, "Yeah," and that was pretty much it. And that was pretty much kind of her tagline too. Her job was to look intimidating when people weren't expecting it. Was to run up there, hit them with a low blow from behind, maybe pick up really big dudes and slam them down to the ground. And it worked out,
She was more convincing than The Miz.
And I will admit openly right now that she did a lot more work than he did. I mean, he probably had a better intercontinental, more convincing intercontinental run than he's ever had. All right.
Look.
I mean, because let's just be honest, and I'll close out talk from about the Ninth Wonder so we could move on to the to Prince. But let's just be honest, if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna tell me that, all right, let's compare movesets, let's compare ring work. All right, what actually looks like it hurts and what actually doesn't? What looks like it hurts the person who's doing the move more? I'd be more scared of taking a move from Chyna because her shit looks like it hurts. It doesn't look like she's hurting herself. All right. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She even has to throw people in the corner and do a backflip to an elbow.
Yeah.
Yep. And the only thing I know The Miz from, that I can remember The Miz from, is that dick licking plus apples equals The Miz. That's the only thing I remember. All right.
Wait. You said dick licking plus apples is The Miz?
Dick licking plus animals
equals The Miz. All right. But, I mean, right now she passed on, 45, way too soon. She had her demons that she struggled with, and it's one of those things,
She lived in Redondo Beach, California.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where if you think about it, she's really literally right around the corner. So,
yeah.
I mean, our condolences definitely. All right.
Rest in peace, Nine Wonder of the world.
Exactly.
She's up there with Eddie right now, man.
They're back together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mamacita.
That's what I'm saying. I remember that. Yeah, that's what I said. She's up there with Eddie right now.
All right. Going from the Ninth Wonder of the world, probably the like I said, probably the most talented musician that we've seen in this current generation, Prince. You know what? When I first knew about him, when I first found out, was in the early '80s. I was in grade school at the time, and all of that. A lot of the knowledge about him and a lot of music was passed on from my older brother and older sister. And I remember what was going on in the world at the time when Prince actually beat out MJ in record sales and also awards. And the thing about Prince was that, here's the thing about Michael Jackson, all right, is that if he didn't have his producers and his band around him, he probably wouldn't be anywhere near as successful, all right? Prince not only sang and danced, he wrote, he played 20 different instruments, he did compositions, he wrote probably more songs than any other published musician out there. He wrote songs for multiple other bands and pop artists, not only pop songs, but rock songs and punk songs, and he did everything. All right. Yeah, he was a little weird, all right, and he was his own thing. There's only a few things in this world. There's only a few things that people can actually get away with saying, because they're a certain person, all right. Prince is probably the only person I know in the world where if you ever talk to him and you've heard stories about him, you know, he would have these huge concerts where he would play for like 4.5, 5, 6 hours. But what would happen is that people would be waiting in the crowd like 30, 45 minutes, an hour before the slated time for the concert to start. And Prince would just show up, walk up on stage. People would be asking, what's going on? What's going on? Where were you last hour? And he'd be like, I don't believe in time. Every time I think about time, I got to count. And when I count, I grow old. I don't believe in time. And there wasn't much that people could sit there and say to the dude otherwise. You know? Yeah, I mean.
Well, Prince is an artist that you had people standing out, like you said, in the rain for hours waiting for him to perform. And you don't hear any complaints out of it. It's just, you know, I mean, it's just Prince is Prince, man. When that news first broke, I was in disbelief because I was still recovering from, Chyna dying, the day before or 2 days before, whatever,
It was literally 12 hours.
Yeah. And I was in disbelief. It's like, Prince is dead? And it's like, oh my God, And he was actually at a concert before he died. He was performing.
Yep.
And, like you said, I mean, Prince is Prince. I mean, just a little bit, Prince is the only artist that really didn't allow Weird Al Yankovic to do any of his songs. He's the only one that felt, because we all know how Prince is with his property and stuff. He's really, so it just tells the type of person that Prince is. But when that stage and he gets up there with his guitar and just plays those riffs for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and just everybody, mad skills, man, just mad skills.
Just like what the Reverend just touched on, all the instruments he played. I guarantee there's going to be I can't really guarantee it, but there's a lot of songs that he hasn't released.
Over 2,000.
They may get released.
Yeah, he's got thousands of songs in his vault.
Well, he was like, he's like Michael Jackson. He's a perfectionist. Because there's still Michael Jackson songs that haven't been released that he didn't think that was finished, but they were, but not to his standards. And that's the same way as Prince. So
here's a couple of things about Prince. I mean, I listened to him when I was very young and, up to now. His music, you just can't, there's no mistaking it. You hear it look, Prince was more than just, no, he was more than that, all right? If you motherfuckers say, I never listened to that shit, if you're saying that, then you have no fucking idea. Just like the Reverend has touched on. He has wrote songs for people. Mm-hmm. People have performed his shit.
Believe me, you've heard some of his songs before. Yeah. You may not have known that, but
wait. You've never heard of 1999? No. You've never heard of Purple Rain? Those are like two of his top hits.
Shit, you wrote Manic Monday for the Bengals.
Absolutely, I know that. Yep.
Yes.
So there you go.
So all the instruments he could play, the talent that he had, he was a perfectionist, and his style. Look,
one thing too,
he had Prince. That's what we motherfucker.
One thing too is that he was an actor as well.
Yep. The thing about it is, his movies were basically about him and his style, his friends, his stories.
Yeah.
I mean, and look how many people he brought onto the scene of music.
What artist can you think of off the hand puts up a sheet, and then stands behind it and have the light and have, his guitar there doing his thing? I mean, come on, man. He was his own.
You have groups like Morris Day and the Time. Which
he wrote songs for.
Sheena Easton, Sheila E. You had Vanity 6. You had Apollonia 6. You had a group called The Family that was short-lived. Prince had so many things going on, especially in the 80s specifically. You had the Revolution. You had the New Power Generation. You changed his name to a symbol. No matter what it was, he still kept his style. He still kept going. He had songs for every specific mood that you were in. Mm-hmm. He was just that guy that just had just numerous amount of talent. And he had great fucking songs.
One thing too is how many collaborations that he did with other artists. You know?
You know, look, we can go on and on, but this is one of those times where we can go on and on and we're not making shit up. All right. This is that's the thing about it. You know, like I said, this is one of those guys, you know, love or hate his music, he one of those once in a generation type talents. You know?
Check this out. I recently found out that he loved the Dave Chappelle skit on him. He loves that.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
No, he went on one of the late night shows. I think it was Conan, right?
Yeah.
And
was it Conan or Letterman? It was one of the two.
One of the two. And he asked him, he's like, that whole thing with the basketball game and everything with Charlie Murphy, was that true? And he was like, yeah, everything was true. He's like, but I don't remember serving everybody pancakes at the end.
Yeah, he said everything was true except for the pancakes.
Yep. I mean,
and now you have, even before he died, pictures surfaced from his high school team.
Yeah.
So the motherfuckers, they was like, wait, no, that was just a skit. No, this was true. It was a true fucking story. Look, and like Charlie Murphy said at the end, who the fuck could make up that shit? Why would you admit that Prince schooled you in basketball? If you knew his music, you were the type of man he was and wore purple, and them motherfuckers came out to the court wearing the same shit they was wearing in the club? Who the fuck would say that? And you got your ass whooped by him? No, I wouldn't admit that shit unless it was fucking fact.
Yep. I mean, all right. Before we close this video out, all right. One song, guys. One song. What is your most memorable or favorite song of Prince's? We'll start with you, Gray Mouse.
I have to say Purple Rain, man.
Okay. All right.
Could go all day.
One thing is, though, with the reason why I say Purple Rain, I know what it's about, but of the guitar solo in the middle of that, yeah.
Yep. Theme, what about yours? Quickly.
Okay, look. Purple Rain is one. Controversy is one. Little Red Corvette, 1999. Yep. I mean, Raspberry Beret, Damn You, Sexy Motherfucker. It was just, oh, Jesus. This man, Kiss. You hear this shit just regardless. And fuck that. I can go on and on.
So you're gonna be that guy, right? Okay, I'll let that pass. Like I said, he's one of the most prolific music writers ever. Favorite song for Prince? Darling Nikki. Okay.
Yes.
And if you've listened to the lyrics of the song,
that song got remade.
Yeah, and the thing by Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters,
right?
And Prince absolutely loved the remake too. So, but yeah, you know, rest in peace to the symbol, to the man, the Prince. All right,
Prince,
he's up there.
Nelson.
Yep, he's up there.
Wow.
You know, dancing around in thigh highs and stiletto heels because that's what he rocked. And he was able to get away with that. So
get away with it. You couldn't fucking stop him.
Yep.
And here's one thing I want to say. He was one of those guys that said, fuck everybody else. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I respected that more than anything else about him. But, okay, his talents is one thing. But when he stepped up, he's like, I'm Prince. I don't need nobody else. Shit, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I like to do. This is me. You don't like it, fuck you. Move on. I got all this shit. That was his personality in a nutshell. He didn't even have to say it.
Yep.
He just showed it. And that was the way to fucking live.
Yep. He wasn't crying for any safe spaces.
Hell no. And I respect that more than anything else about him.
Yeah. All righty. With that, that's our thoughts on the dearly departed. You guys get that now, right? The celebrities, whenever they die, I think the worst thing about it is that it affects people. And part of the reason why it affects people is that not only does it brings back memories of when we first got familiar with those folks, but it also kind of reminds us that we're getting old. And one day we're going to die also.
Lay off that.
Reminds you of mortality.
Lay off that. Okay, and they were turning everything purple. Monuments were turning purple. Even Google.
Google turned purple.
Purple Rain coming out. And you have choirs and plays and performing Purple Rain. Purple Rain is hitting the theaters. It should be in the theaters as we speak.
Yep.
It went back to the theaters. So if you haven't seen it or if you can't find it right now, just go to the theater and watch it.
Yep.
Definitely the world is mourning.
Yep. And we'll be doing that alongside with everybody else. We've got less than 30 seconds left, folks. Thank you for spending the last 20 minutes with us. If you're so kind, hit like, subscribe. We're three middle-aged dudes just bullshitting about nothing. I am the Reverend.
The Theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
Rest in peace, Chyna. Rest in peace, Prince Rogers Nelson. Credits.